National Colored Congress MP Fadiel Adams says he is preparing a submission and is waiting for an invitation from the Madlanga Commission so he can testify and respond to allegations that have linked his name to the Commission's proceedings.
Watch Madlanga. I'm waiting on my invite. Watch Madlanga. You remember, before I went to the ad hoc committee, it was essentially mostly people that I would stand in solidarity with. Black people that were gunning me. You're gonna see at the ad hoc. You're gonna see at the ad hoc. And then I turned the fucking ad hoc upside down and then you went quiet. Here's your second turn. Bring Madlanga. Those are the finest legal minds in the country. Bring Madlanga. Tell him Fadiel Adams is waiting. Tell him that out there in the Cape Flats, there exists that rare animal. That thing that does not know fear. That thing that will stare down the PKTT and say, footsack. It exists, it actually lives. Now, just because everybody bought that con man stunt on the 6th of June last year, I want you to know some of us still think. And as deep as they scratched into Section 27 at Madlanga, and even I was thinking, what the fuck? Here's the truth. Massive crime was committed. Tens of millions were stolen. And stupid people are acting like cheerleaders. But those same stupid people complain about crime and a lack of service delivery. And then it gets worse than that. It actually gets worse than that. How many of us have seen murderers and thieves and things run away, get out of jail, have cases thrown out because of a technicality, then we moan. But when it happens at a certain commission, then you want to applaud it because it comes down to skin color, doesn't it? The fact is that it was a colored boy and a handful of Indian people, and some of them have doubts about certain people, that turned the South African police service on its head. And that's the part a lot of people can't freak, and that is a real sadness. It is a real sadness. But anyway, Mensa, it's been a long day.
Adams said he wants the opportunity to clear his name and present his version of events. Speaking during a radio interview, Adams said, he is definitely going, as a matter of fact, his drafting submissions this week, and then he will request an opportunity to go to the commission. He added that his name has been dragged through the mud, been accused of being part of cartels, been accused of being handled by Firoz Khan, been accused of colluding with IDAC, but not an ounce of proof has been produced. I will attach that radio interview. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and tell me what do you think in the comments section below. Adams' name has featured repeatedly during testimony before the Madlanga Commission, which is examining allegations of criminal infiltration, corruption, and political interference in the criminal justice system. IDAC head advocate Andrea Johnson acknowledged that the directorate engaged Adams and asked him to submit the Section 27 referral, while disputing the description that it had been solicited. Questions have also been raised about the underlying evidence and process. Adams said Parliament's related ad hoc committee had already cleared him in its preliminary findings, stating, "The ad hoc committee in the preliminary report has made clear that I am not guilty of any of the incidents." He said he is ready to appear before the Madlanga Commission once formally invited. The commission continues hearing evidence, while the timing of Adams' testimony remains subject to its processes. Personally, I don't think Fadiel Adams will survive at the commission, judging by what happened when he testified in the ad hoc committee of Parliament. In everything that he said, he couldn't substantiate it with evidence. Instead, he was emotional. He wasn't answering questions directly. He failed to answer simple questions. I can't wait for the day he will appear before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry.
I'm definitely going to Madlanga. As a matter of fact, I'm drafting my submissions this week, and then I will request an opportunity to come. You see, my name has been dragged through the mud. I've been accused of being part of cartels. I've been accused of being handled by Firoz Khan. I've been accused of colluding with IDAC, but not an ounce of proof has been brought. Not 1 ounce. As a matter of fact, the ad hoc committee in the preliminary report has made it clear that I'm not guilty of any offense in their view. out of all the mud thrown at me at the ad hoc, because they might as well have called that the Fadiel Adams Commission, because my name was raised in every second sentence.
Yeah, that was but to be fair, that was only in one session. And in that one session, Fadiel, and let me put it to you, right, that at the moment it seems that there are two factions in the police that are fighting each other. The one faction, from the evidence that was led at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry just a couple of days ago, that evidence seems to suggest that this unit, IDAC, I'm sorry to say, they do seem rogue in the way that they've handled some of these allegations and the way they've conducted themselves. Andrea Johnson's proximity to Feroz Khan and where these allegations come from, and I'm not going to go through every single bit of detail because we simply don't have the time to do that. But the song that you are singing and the chorus and tune that they are singing seem very similar, and it does seem to suggest that you were doing their bidding.
So let me put it to you as it is. I saw evidence with my own eyes. I handed that evidence to the authorities. That's the only song that I'm singing. The fact that the authorities have investigated those claims and appear to validate those claims does not mean that we're singing any song. I'm telling you that unfortunately, what I know has to wait for court. But there's no relationship between myself and IDAC. I never knew these people until I issued them with my statement. Those are the facts. And as far as the factions in SAPS are concerned, these factions have been around for the last 30 years. I've only become an MP 2 years ago. How do I become central to the factions in that time? No, not even. It's in a year, because it's a year ago that I laid those cases. I've got no part in the factions in SAPS. As a matter of fact, I believe it's a battle between bad and worse.
Bring Madlanga. Those are the finest legal minds in the country. Bring Madlanga. Tell him Fadiel Adams is waiting. Tell him that out there in the Cape Flats, there exists that rare animal. That thing that does not know fear. That thing that will stare down the PKTT and say, "Footsack." It exists. It actually lives. Now, just because everybody bought that con man stunt on the 6th of June last year, I want you to know some of us still think